Welcome to Behind the Crafter. I'm your host JD, and today we have a creative builder who loves to build fantasy structures and is part of the Bakery Creators. He's not only passionate about building, but is also a family dad. So I'd like to give a big welcome to GraySun. Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, thank you. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing pretty good, and after talking to Matt Ranger, of
Yeah.
course, we talked about you,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, you were very high on my list of people I would like to talk to,
That's
especially
awesome.
especially because of your building abilities. And I think a lot
Yeah.
of people would love to hear how you do it, how you became so good, and the early days on your phone, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you remember we used to
Yeah.
we didn't get the chance to play together, but I
No.
started an around your corner too and on Adelscraft on my
Yes.
phone. Yeah.
But I believe we were on different servers.
Yeah, we're on different servers.
You were on a
Yeah.
Bedrock one.
Yeah,
I was on a
the
Java one.
crossplay.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
crossplay one.
exactly.
Yeah.
hmm
So, going all the way back to the beginning, how did you start playing Minecraft?
Minecraft. So I'm a bit of a gamer, but not that much.
Mm-hmm.
I got kids kind of early, like 24,
Ah,
23, late 23, I got my first kid. And then kind of like games took a bad turn,
mm-hmm.
no more time for that. So I was mainly playing mobile games. But the first time I saw Minecraft, I had one of my neighbors playing Minecraft, and I think that's like 9 years ago,
Yeah.
9 or 8 years ago. And he was showing me like these golems falling to lava and stuff, and I was like, Jesus, that game looks so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of knew what was Minecraft, but I've never played it.
Yeah.
And like everyone, we had COVID, then we got stuck inside.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas 2021, I bought a Switch for my wife's daughter. She's like my daughter too. I call her my daughter.
Yeah.
She lives with us. She's my daughter. So we bought her a Switch and we got her Mario Kart. And
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart's very like co-op play.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit bad. Maybe she wants to play a game alone. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get you another game. We got that for Christmas. You got it from Santa Claus. Let's get you a game now. And she was browsing through the games and she's like, I want Minecraft. And I see the price. All the games are like $80
Yeah.
Canadian. And I'm like, Minecraft's $30. I'm like, is she choosing Minecraft because she doesn't want me to spend money or something? So I'm like, you can choose anything else. You don't need to choose Minecraft. And after a couple like minutes, 30 minutes ish, she's like, no, I really want Minecraft. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's get Minecraft. So she got Minecraft and she starts playing in a mountain. There's zombies and stuff. And I'm like, she's playing. And I'm like, wow, man, this game looks really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play too. And I feel bad because I don't play games. I play some mobile games on my phone on the side, like everybody. But I'm like, I kind of really want to play. It looks really good, and I got the Switch for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I started playing with the Switch, and I end up taking the Switch in bed that night. And I was playing and playing, and I'm like, okay, that's too interesting. So the next day, I'm like, I want to try and find out how I can play with her, and I found out that I could play on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I got it on my phone. Controlling was super hard.
Yeah.
But I got it. Yeah, I got it. I fiddled, and I tried playing with her. So we made a world and whatever. I got myself a controller, and I just wanted to build some stuff. And then she's like, she kept wanting to build tree houses, but
Mm-hmm.
she was like 7 years old at that time, 6 years old, 7 years old. So she was just building in the trees in the Minecraft trees. So I went up and did like everybody. I looked for a tutorial on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and I found that tutorial about it was from Blue Bits. It's a small treehouse with a hanging sphere, and damn, that was hard to
Yeah.
do on the phone as my like first week of playing Minecraft. And I did it, and then I went downstairs. I did my own things in, storage room and whatever. And I don't know, since then, like like I felt free, kind of free, playing
Hmm.
that game. Like it felt like kind of like a relief, like if you just found like something, like when you're sick and you take like Advils and it kicks in, you feel the relief.
Yeah.
That's what Minecraft did to me. Like, and I think the thing is because okay, now some people might know me, you know me. Like I have a creative mind, but I didn't know I had one.
Hmm.
Like I knew I was creative, but I wasn't drawing, I wasn't doing any arts or whatever. I was, having fun with doing artsy stuff like through my work, but like I work very mentally and very I used to work physically, and that was like such a relief. So I played like all day,
Hmm.
like not all day, but like every day. I think just recently I've had some breaks of like 1 to 2 days, and it's to take family time.
Yeah.
But I've been playing that game since 2021 every single day. And it's
Hmm.
just, I felt like I was free and I could finally, express and get the creativity I have in my mind just with that game.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, playing with kids, with my kid, was fun, but I felt like I needed something a bit more. So I found this guy. I was following tutorials like everybody, and
Right.
this guy, he went on the Adult Craft. I think you know him. It's what's his name, Mister something. I don't know. He was making like sugarcane farms, and he said he was opening an SMP on his YouTube video. So I
Right.
went in and I met two other adults, AHP and Mike,
Hmm.
and
Right.
so we started playing together and like we did like crazy stuff. Like we went all in. Like we farmed everything. We built the biggest thing and everything. And then he got into Adult Craft, that guy,
Hmm.
and we followed him.
I remember
So
that.
yeah, we followed him and we got into the Bedrock because I was still playing on my phone.
Yeah.
So we got into the Bedrock, and then I was talking with HB, Mike, and like all this Adults Craft community. And I was posting my picture of like what I was building, and everybody was telling me, "Damn, man, that's crazy. Damn, this is crazy, Grayson. Oh my God, this is insane." And then AHP was talking to me about Hermitcraft, and I'm like, "What is Hermitcraft?" I was so new
Ah.
to the game.
Yeah.
I was so new. I didn't know anything. I was looking tutorials about farms only.
Hmm.
I wasn't using any tutorials for building anymore. Like I used a couple ones at first, but not that much, just to get familiarized with like building and stuff. I was mainly looking at like FWIP, Mythical Sausage, but
Hmm.
I wasn't really following. They don't do tutorials really,
Yeah. Yeah. Those two.
all the rest, yeah.
Those
So,
two
but
are ones that I always watched.
yeah, because they build like kind of like super fantasy, medieval,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I did take a couple stuff from them, left and right. Like unconsciously, you see how they do like trimmings or doors or whatever.
Hmm.
So I take those things, but then I developed my own style and whatever. So whatever, I was building stuff, and they kept telling me you gotta put that somewhere. You gotta do like YouTube or whatever.
Hmm.
But in my head, I'm like, YouTube is so far away. I'm playing on a phone. I don't own a computer. My laptop, I don't even know if my laptop can run Minecraft. I'm so used to the phone.
Yeah.
So I looked around, and then I found on some people posted on Pinterest and Instagram. And I
Hmm.
was like, maybe I could try that. So I had that crazy idea of making starter bases for all the biomes.
Right.
So I started doing that, on Bedrock. I would open a single player world, find a seed, and start making a starter base every day. I would do that. I did it for like 25 biome. Like I didn't do the repeat one where it's like there's taiga and there's like the giant taiga. I just did a
Yeah.
taiga one.
Right.
So I did like 25 posts of me making starter bases on my phone on Bedrock, taking screenshots with my phone, barely able to edit my picture or crop them even, and posted it on Instagram with no captions, no hashtag, no nothing, just posting every day for like a month. So it didn't get anything, didn't get any traction. I tried to do a video, didn't get anything, nothing at all. So I was still playing, like we were at not the end of Adults Craft season 3. It was season 3 on the Bedrock side.
Yeah.
And I was starting to post stuff. Then I was starting to read about Instagram. Like, okay, I gotta use hashtag. I gotta, I didn't own any social media. I had Facebook with my family and friends. I wasn't a social media guy. I wasn't a computer guy. I wasn't a console guy. I was just a guy playing on his phone. I had my family and I was playing, and my wife was getting a bit what's the word? Like she was like a bit. She find that I was playing too much.
Yeah, a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, she was a bit worried of like my Minecraft playing, but she was like, okay, it's not a problem. Everything is fine in the house. We have food. Everything's clean. The kids are taken care of. Bills are paid. We have some money on the side. The important stuff is there.
Yeah.
But we weren't doing really much together. We were just like having the family time, and that's it. Then that's where I thought, like, why is my stuff? I got into that loophole that some content creator might get. I found that my builds were pretty good, and a lot of people was telling me it was good, but like nothing was working on Instagram for me.
Yeah.
Like, nothing. I had barely like a couple likes, and the likes I had is the people I was talking to on Discord. I was posting on Discord, on like Blue Nerds Discord, Fwip's Discord, and people were like, "Oh, that's nice. That's really cool." So I had a lot of people telling me that it was cool, but then on Instagram wasn't doing nothing.
Right.
So I started networking. I started asking questions. I reached out to Freya. I don't know if you know who's Freya.
I know the name.
She's not that active anymore, but she used to build like really cool stuff, like steampunk, very nice stuff. So she told me something. She told me, like, just keep at it and keep building and keep having fun, and it's gonna come, And definitely I was having fun. I was just worried that, like, why is other people posting stuff that, we get a bit like crazy, like we think other people's stuff is not that great and your stuff is good, especially when you're trying so hard for like a couple months. Then you get into that zone of like, you don't understand.
Yeah, I know that.
You deserve a bit more, you feel like you deserve a bit more. That feeling, But I didn't know what I was getting into. Like, I didn't know the game. I didn't know anything about it. And that's where I got into like more smaller Instagrammers. And some guy saw my stuff and he was like, "That's so cool, come play on Meta Union." So that's kind of where everything started.
Right.
So, I just told you, like, my wife was getting worried I was playing too much. So she was right. I told her, "You're right. Let's go. Let's take some money and then just go to Mexico. Get to Mexico for like 3 weeks vacation. Her family, she's Mexican. We went to see her family, And then this guy is like telling me about Meta Union, which is a cross server. And I was already scared of like cross play server because of Adults Craft. Like, I didn't know how Java worked, but now it was creative,
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe my stuff is not working because I don't have shaders, It's little screenshots and,
Yeah.
and not cropped or whatever. I need, like, it's not clear, it's very dark or whatever. And then I went on Meta Union. The thing is, on Meta Union, I couldn't have a world to myself. I couldn't build, like, you only got plots. And you had to build something on Meta Union that is good. And then the owner of the server, they judge it. If they say that you're a builder, then they give you a world or your access to the world, overworld creative with like infinite space to build, terraform, or whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. So I finally like take my courage. I go, I put Meta Union. I found how to put a server on a phone,
Yeah.
Get on that server. I auto plot, and you won't believe where my plot went.
Where?
Right beside shovel.
Shovel. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was already, I was getting like seeing a lot of stuff on Instagram, and Shovel was the guy that blew my mind. Every time he was posting, I was commenting on every single thing he posted. And sometimes he would answer me back, and I would say jokes like, "Oh, you build so fast," or this or that, and whatever. I didn't have no clue about building tools.
Yeah.
I was building on survival all this time. I
Right.
never played creative in my life. Okay, I did try a creative, but it was not something for me to do. I wasn't testing stuff in creative. I was
Mm-hmm.
straight up building on bedrock, on survival, building something, breaking it down, trying again. I wasn't trying stuff on creative. So all the builds I was doing were on survival.
Right.
So this guy, I get my plot is right beside him, and I look at his builds, and it's massive. It's just massive, and I'm getting stressed. I'm like, I really want to get that builder role so I can, have this world and start building on creative, and then people can take screenshots for me, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of me taking pictures, then I have access to shaders.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I was in Mexico and I started building that thing. I did a little like village and whatever. I had 75 by 75 plots, and I was making mistakes. Like I wasn't in the middle or whatever, and then people would just come and see what I was building and was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and they helped me. They moved my selection and stuff like that. They started using commands, and I was like, "This is unreal." When you build in survival and you mess up from one block, you have to break down everything and redo it.
Yep.
They just did something and it moved one block. Everything. My mind was like going crazy. Like I want this. I was getting very excited. Like I really want to do this myself too.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, I make this build, and AirTug, another Instagram builder, took the screenshot for me. So I was very excited. I think like he took 2 screenshots. So I
Yeah.
take those photos. He sends them to me to Discord. I crop them. I post them on Instagram. Instantly, 5,000 likes in one day.
Wow.
I was like,
Blows your mind.
It is that. It is that. It is the shaders. It is the presentation. I need better presentation.
Yeah.
That's what I needed. That's what I needed. So my mind started to go crazy. I was like, all those builds in Bedrock, they are good. I just need to go get them and take screenshots with shaders.
Yeah.
So it started like that. I started slowly taking my builds from Bedrock, learning Java, making friends in the building community. And you know what? Shovel was a builder in Meta Union, and he was building over there. So I got to talk to him. He started to teach me some stuff. He told me, stop playing Bedrock. GraySun, stop playing Bedrock. Get Java.
Yeah.
Get Java. Get Java. But I've never touched a computer in 8 years. So you know what I did? I got my laptop. I put Minecraft in it, and it ran perfectly fine. So all this time, I could have played Minecraft on Java. I was just scared, a blockage. That's like the newbie blockage, I call it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't try. I don't know. You don't know. You don't learn it. You don't know you can do something if you don't try, Now I had some people pushing me. So I was trying these things, and everything was working well,
It's very different
Yeah.
from my experience. Like I started playing on my phone. Well, I shouldn't say that. I started playing on Xbox, but it was not Bedrock Edition. I got Bedrock on my phone and hated it. I absolutely despised it.
Really?
Yeah. And then I got it on my laptop, and it worked fine. And I started my YouTube channel with videos from playing on my laptop, but it was 20 frames per second. It was awful.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. No, I was not the beast laptop, but it was working, you know. The only thing I needed in my mind, like I said, was shaders,
Yep.
picture. That's all I needed. So, so I started, you know, trying to figure out how to bring my builds back. I couldn't figure it out, so I started building new stuff on Meta Union. Then I learned about Snarple. I learned about Painter Gigi, the Puffin, Claire, Waspycraft. I met all these guys through Meta Union.
Yeah.
But there was a little like fall off on Meta Union, the mod team, and I guess we were kind of loud. You know, we were, you know, all in. Not me personally, but them. They were like, you know, they were getting a lot of traction on Meta Union, and you know, so there was some problems like modding. Sometimes they were late at night on VC, and some people didn't have VC. They would respond on the chat. Nobody was understanding what was going on. They were trying to mod things. It didn't work out. So Painter GG made that secret group called the Bakery.
Right.
That secret Discord. That's how it started.
Wow.
Because we wanted to communicate together. We didn't want to communicate through Meta Union anymore. I say we, but I was still very, very new in the group. There was this girl. What's her name again? Come on. Whatever her name, she was very active. She's not active, unfortunately, anymore. But she invited me into the Bakery. She was kind of like the recruiter for the Bakery. She would get the good builders on Instagram, bring them in the Bakery, you know?
Yeah.
So I got into the Bakery and I started talking with Painter. I started talking with Snarple, and absolutely like Shovel. Shovel was like, you know, just like my mentor and like my idol. I was idolizing him and everything.
Yeah.
So we got into the Bakery, and then Painter said we want to do a builder server. Want to do our own Meta Union, but just for us, for builder. So I was like, fine, you know, that's good. And then it took a couple weeks. It fell off with Meta Union. We had our server. All the good builders from Meta Union that was on Instagram went to the Bakery server. We had Animal Maze. I don't know. You know Animal Maze?
I don't actually.
You don't? He's pretty big on YouTube now. He does animation.
Okay.
He does some building, but mostly like animation is his forte. He was our dev for the first Bakery server.
Oh.
He was the dev, yeah. So he put up the server for us, and then we got there and we started building, and that's where things kind of like picked up very much. I got to understand how to bring my builds from Bedrock to Java, taking screenshots, and I had so many builds. JD, I had so many builds on Bedrock. I just started posting every day, and it just blew up, you know, like it went very fast. I got to like, from that trip to Mexico, those 3 weeks, all of these things happened. I started to get like Meta Union, and then when I got back to Canada, that's when Bakery started. I started playing on Bakery, and I went from like 50 followers to 5,000. Pretty fast, pretty fast. With a couple builds, like taking good pictures with screenshots, with shaders and all. And I was using the laptop just to take pictures. I wasn't playing on Java. I was still building on my phone, but I had a second instance taking the pictures for me. So yeah, it started like that, and everything really blew up when I built the Amethyst 2 door. It's a large build that Shovel told me, like he pushed me, he showed me like his structure wise how he does it, and then I went with the color palette of like red and amethyst, and that build got like 20,000 likes.
Wow.
And yeah, no, it didn't stop. It just didn't stop. That's when my wife started like asking questions. She was like, "Okay, what's going on? What? How come that like there's so much follow?" But still, I wasn't making anything with that, you know. It was just numbers.
Yeah.
And you're also Canadian, so you know Instagram doesn't pay Canadian.
Right.
They don't. There was like the real bonus. I didn't have access to anything, so you know, I was just building my audience, and I was taking it very seriously. Audience wise, I would ask people like, what do you want to see? What do you like? What do you know? When they were commenting, I was like, oh, thank you. What is it exactly that you like? I wanted to understand what people wanted. And you know, I found out by asking your audience, you get to know them. and they kept asking for like fantasy stuff, but sometimes like smaller, like survival friendly. And
Right.
I understood something like people like me when I started playing on Bedrock, and I'm probably not the only one. I am not the only one. I am that like totally sure. Everybody wants to play Minecraft. They see those YouTubers, they are having fun, they're having the best time of their life,
Mm-hmm.
building massive structures, not massive structures, but very inspiring structures, making cities and whatever. They're inspired. I was inspired, you know?
Right.
So I understood that you need to build survival kind of friendly. You need to inspire the people who play survival because that's how we play.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of people that builds creative. So, people always say like, "Oh, Grayson's such a good builder sometimes or whatever." I know I'm not the best. Like, I'm not saying I always say thank you because I know big builders, but the thing is I don't try to perform as high as a builder what I do. That is probably the key of a big secret of like my thing is
Mm-hmm.
I work hard on inspiring people, not getting better at building bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
Because I understood that people just wants to get inspired, and everybody has a life, everybody has a work, a job,
Mm-hmm.
or school. They pick up Minecraft in the weekend or late at night. They play a couple hours. They put a video on the side. They see something. They like it. They think they can do it. They go open Minecraft and try to do it.
Yep.
But when they see big structures, yeah, it's pretty impressive, but they don't try to replicate them,
Very
you know?
difficult.
Yeah, it's no, that's world edit, that's creative.
Yes.
That's some people would say, oh, they have no life, they don't touch grass. We get those comments or whatever. So
Yeah.
stuff like that. I respect much the big builders like that. It's very fun and I learn a lot from them. But by asking my audience, that is where I understood that I needed to keep that niche if I wanted to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But all that happened a bit unconsciously, I didn't think I would make a living with Minecraft like at all.
Yeah.
Like I was just trying to get numbers. I just tried to inspire people, and I knew that if I kept giving what my audience wanted, I would find more people like my audience. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because I didn't stop studying just Java and Bedrock and a bit Instagram. I was living that, I was breathing that. I was trying to understand what was Instagram, what was how it worked, how the algorithm pushes content, what people want, and the true key is audience. The algorithm is just a robot,
Mm-hmm.
how your audience reacts to your stuff will make will trigger the algorithm to try and find more people like your audience. That's
Yeah.
all it is. There's no secret like, oh, I'm shadow ban or this. No, it's your audience. It's only your audience. If you give them what they want, if you're nice with them, if you interact with them, and it's legitimate, it's not fake, it's genuine, then it's gonna help the algorithm to find more people like that. And you know, that's what they want. They want survival fantasy stuff from me. That's all
Mm-hmm.
they want, and that's what I keep doing it. And I'm lucky. I always say I'm lucky because the thing is, I enjoy doing exactly what they want. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy it,
Yeah.
and I don't feel the pressure of being a better builder because I enjoy doing this, and I have a lot of people that wants me to do it. So I'm very lucky, That
Yeah.
little secret formula is working for them, for the audience, for my audience, and for myself because I don't need to not work that hard, but I don't need to go above and beyond and build big stuff and big projects that will take me weeks or months,
Mm-hmm.
I can just keep doing small houses, very inspiring, get a little light bulb moment, go on Minecraft, build it in a couple days and show it off, get
Mm-hmm.
the other people inspired. That's pretty much it. So I don't know if you want to take the lead here,
Oh yeah.
but that's really how A to Z of like the start. That is how I got into the scene.
Yeah. It's
There's a lot more, but that's how it happened.
Yeah, it is. It's quite an interesting journey that you've had. It's very different from a lot of people. 'Cause there are a lot of people who do this for years, and well, you went through Instagram first,
Yeah.
and now you are on YouTube and Twitch, and
Hmm.
so I was just looking at Instagram, and I see you have 109,000 followers now.
Hmm. Yeah.
And on YouTube, you've got 12.9 thousand subscribers.
Yeah.
That's on 58 videos. But it looks like you've grown through shorts.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So, I was posting reels on Instagram, and then
Yeah.
I was kind of forced to post it on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
because other people would post it. So instead of them getting a little traction, a little audience, I said, look, why not? I already have the video, so I posted on TikTok, and I'm
Yeah.
like, at this point, I can also post it into shorts, YouTube
Yeah.
shorts. I was still working on my laptop, so my computer wasn't that strong for like editing. So I was editing everything on my phone on
Mm-hmm.
CapCut. So I
Okay.
didn't want to venture into long form content.
Right.
And but I kind of stopped posting shorts because then when things got really like very serious, like when I started seeing that like I was starting to make an income with Minecraft, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I need a PC.
Yeah.
And that's where I stopped posting shorts. I didn't want to grow a short audience.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a computer, get into editing videos, and get into like long form content on YouTube. I made 2 videos.
Yeah.
I got a couple hundred people from those 2 first videos.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 10,000 people from shorts.
Yeah.
But
They're very different audiences as well.
yeah,
And
yeah, absolutely.
and with shorts, it takes a lot of views, millions, to be able to make anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can have just the fraction of views with long form content and make far more money with it.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah. I know.
like
Yeah.
I did play around with shorts a bit on my channel, but I wasn't really into it. I prefer long form content myself.
That's good. That's good. Well, I feel like long form is more genuine too.
Mm,
Short form is really just like tap in, tap tap. Let's
yeah.
go. Look, and the problem with shorts is it's not beneficial for you as
Hmm.
a creator because it doesn't pay enough,
Yeah.
and also it's not very beneficial for the platform itself because the video is so short they cannot monetize it well
Right.
with ads or anything versus long form where it's easy to put an ad after 8 minutes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. um and also the kind of the meta of like having flashy things, fast pace on shorts. Like what do you do? Like you have like maybe like some time to give like one message, bring one value.
Hmm.
So it's either funny nonsense or just something that will hook people and make them a bit like addicted to your content,
Yeah.
or you're really funny or something like that. You cannot be extra serious. You cannot like bring. You could try and bring some teachable stuff. There's ways to do, but it's not. It's a bit like superficial. I
Yeah.
feel like shorts. That's why I stopped right away because I'm like, in the future, I want to take my YouTube part seriously. So I'm not putting shorts anymore. I still do reels. I just don't post them on YouTube. I still post them on Instagram and TikTok. That's where shorts belong, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm not monetizing those platforms anyway. So
Right.
yeah. So I think yeah, you're totally right. So shorts kind of another game, and you either make millions of views or you don't do anything with
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah. And a lot of people, like they don't really know much about how we make money on YouTube
Nope.
or other platforms. Like, of course,
Yeah.
there's ad revenue, which
Yeah.
is a major part of my income.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because I do long form content and I get several 100,000 views a month.
Mm-hmm.
So it is making me an income. But
Yeah.
there are other ways of making income, and I know that you are on you're using Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's the next part of the story.
yeah, I was
You want me to
I
talk
was
about that?
sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
I was going to be asking you.
Yeah, go.
So how did that go?
How did that? Yeah, the Patreon thing. Okay, so it's really, really like it's really dumb. So I got back from Mexico. Things got good for me on Instagram, but
Yep.
only like follower wise and like view wise and whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't making anything. I tried to do a couple of videos, but I couldn't get real bonus. And I was praying like, please, Instagram, make Canada have real bonus. Like I want to get like a sideline with all this, because I was just having fun and like my wife was kind of like, gotta stop. It's pretty cool, but it doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
We have a family life. I want to go out, want to do things together, and I was kind of sacrificing that for Minecraft.
Yeah.
All the vital stuff were taken care of, but we weren't like going out, we weren't going like dinner anymore. We weren't doing movie nights. I was playing Minecraft every single
Yeah.
night after
Yeah.
work. Like so. The bakery. So these guys, Shovel already had started the Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know whose ideas it was, but I think Pater Gigi. Okay, one day he's like, okay, everyone that has a Patreon, we're gonna make pictures and put that on your stories, and you wanted to get like kind of like the bakery group to get known
Mm-hmm.
through making ourselves known as like not a build we're not a builder team, but like a builder group friend, and we had that little promotion of like every bakers that at Patreon, and like we would put that picture on all of our story
Yeah.
on Instagram. So I'm like, okay, so I guess I have to make a Patreon, if I want to follow I want to post that, I want to show that I'm friends with these guys. I was already friends, but like nobody knows anything. So I wanted to show myself like, hey, I'm friends with Snarple, I'm friends with Painter Gigi, hey, I'm friends with Shovel. So I made a Patreon account,
Yeah.
and it was in July 2022, I think,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, so I made my Patreon account, and then I was like, okay, but what's next? How does that work? So then Shovels tells me, oh, you need Lightmatica, you need to make schematic, you need to make world file, and I don't know anything about that. Okay, so yeah, that was early August 2022. I started playing Java on the laptop in late June 2022. So I had 1 month of experience playing Java on my laptop,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to learn how to use Lightmatica. I had to learn how to install mods. I had to learn how to install update shaders. I had to
Yeah.
learn how to use multi MC, those like kind of like launchers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was overwhelming, very
Yeah.
overwhelming. Also, making pictures on a computer. Yeah, I didn't own a computer. So again, no supper, no dinner, and then yeah, no, that wasn't bad. It was bad. I mean, like we weren't gonna, me and my wife weren't gonna separate or anything, but it wasn't like she was really like, you gotta do something. Like every day we would talk.
Yeah.
And then when Patreon happened, I was like, I want to do that, and I want to start making it the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't believe me. She didn't. She was like, that's bullshit, whatever. It calmed stuff down for a couple weeks, but
Yeah.
whatever. So I learned all these things, but I really went all in. Like I went all in. That's when like I would get from home from work, get home, eat, and play Minecraft right away. But I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just playing now. I was learning, watching videos, how to do stuff, getting to learn Lightmatica, word edit, and all these things, how to make schematics and whatever. till like 12, 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got all my builds updated, I started putting stories on Instagram.
Yeah.
It started like that. August, end of August, my page was completely done. Perfect. I had like, what, 20, 25 builds available on Patreon.
Yeah.
And my first month, I made $300.
Nice.
Only the end of August. And I was like, wow, okay. But, people were waiting for that. So I'm like, hey, these are all the people that was waiting for me to do Patreon and have some of my builds.
Yeah.
All the past couple months, because I got traction in March 2022. August 2022, I had Patreon.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even a year that I had content creation under my belt. I didn't have even 1 year of experience in content creation. Hell, I had 2 months of Java experience,
Yes.
So it started like that. Then I told my wife, and she was like, yeah, $200. Finally, she was like laughing at me, like, finally, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go dinner now?
Yeah.
Something like that. Let's go. And then September, 800. I was like, okay, 800. Damn, that's But now that was a full month. That was not like half a week. 2 weeks and 2 weeks and a half. It was like a full month. And I was like, yo, that's not 800, $500. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I was happy with that because I'm like, that's a sideline now. And I was working full time, like 40 hours a week and making a decent income. And that was a nice sideline. It pays gas, it pays extra. I was happy with that. Then October hit and I got $800. And I'm like, yo, okay, that's really good. Now I was really happy. And then things kind of calmed down with my wife. She was like, okay, he's really making it work. Okay, but still, it's not enough. November hit, I made $900, so not a big increase.
Right.
December though was a good month, but something cool happened, really cool, and that's when things started getting serious. I'm gonna stop giving numbers now, though.
Yep.
But yeah, December was a good month. It wasn't crazy. I made it in first thousands.
Yes.
But McDonald's Canada reached out to me. It
Really?
also reached out for but it also reached out for Shovel. But I think they wanted a Canadian content creation, and they asked me to do a Big Mac city. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Sorry, I said a bad word, but like I was like, I don't want to do that, but it's McDonald's,
Yeah.
I build fantasy stuff, and we want to have it like maybe like Mario World, the movie Mario World, Super Mario Bros. With like a mushroom town, but instead mushroom forest, but instead it's Big Macs. And I'm like, okay,
That's crazy.
yeah, okay, I'm gonna try to do that. Okay, I'll try that. So yeah, I got into the project. We talked. I made sketches and whatever, and then they reached out to me and they're like, okay, is that legal? Can we do that? Can we get your things and use it as marketing? I'm like, I have no idea. This is my first commission.
Yeah.
I'm super new into content creation. I've never got anything. And then they say, okay, well, figure it out, continue your things and whatever. So I was close to finishing the project. That's when they told me, I'm sorry, but we cannot continue, but we're going to pay you half. And the half was really good.
Wow.
So I didn't get to build. I had, honestly, 10 hours of work in, and I got my monthly income with McDonald's Canada without doing any work because they gave me half of the project. And that's when I felt like, okay, now I need to make a deal with my wife. I'm going to give her money and she does like all the stuff in the house while I work on that. That's when we got a little deal, and that's when everything was settled. I had something working, I would work full time and then work when I get home, and my wife gets some stuff and she can, go out with her friends or whatever. And that's when we got a little deal, So that's how Patreon worked. So then I did the same thing I did with Instagram. I asked Patreons, what do you want? How do you see? How do you say? Optimizing your niche, optimizing your page, make it as easier as possible for people to understand, get better with your tools. So I learned how to use Canva
Mm-hmm.
to make templates and stuff. And you're like, I see now. I see like it's kind of like a business, and I see it like a plane. You're a
Yeah.
plane. You're not flying. You need that plane to go up. So it takes a lot of energy for the plane to get up. But once it's up, then you need to just control stuff.
Yes.
Now I was trying to get into the more control state and not spend all my fuel, take my directions. Am I trying to do this? Am I trying to go there? I was more into that mindset,
Mm-hmm.
with Patreon. But now I knew how it worked with Instagram. It was kind of the same thing with Patreon. Follow the audience.
Yeah.
But there's another thing that I learned. Not just follow the audience, but you gotta follow what you also want to do, and
Yes.
kind of do a compromise, you know.
Yep.
Give them something they want and do something you like.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it had been a year that I was doing content, and I've had ups and downs, because that's when I learned that, like anything in content creations, there's seasons, there's down seasons, and
Yes.
also Instagram is very fluctuating, worse than YouTube. So I had bad months with good builds, but that's when I realized, even if my posts weren't performing on Instagram, it didn't affect my Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't need millions of views. You need those couple thousands of people that really, really, really loves you,
Yes.
and that's all you need. And you're lucky, because those are always the one that will see your content first. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing I learned with Patreon. So it kept working for me, and then when the update came in, with the cherry wood and the bamboo,
Mm-hmm.
uh 20 not yeah, that one, is
It was
that
last
one,
year.
is it that one? No, it's not that one. Yeah, 2023, yeah.
Yeah.
May 2023. uh Patreon tripled in 1 month, like tripled.
That
And
must have
that's,
been a bit of a
yeah,
shock.
because of the update. Yeah, it was a big shock, and because of the update too. So that's where I learned that, okay, the big months for content creation is May, June, July, and August. That's where I learned that.
Yeah.
And it exploded. My posts were doing well everywhere. On Instagram, on TikTok, on Pinterest. People were active. People wanted Minecraft content. People wanted fantasy. And the people that didn't saw me the year before saw me this year, and like I tapped into like a big building audience that wanted fantasy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and things tripled. And that's where I was like, okay, I might have to go full time. And that was freaking scary, JD. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
That's a big
I
jump.
Yeah, I've been working all my life since I'm 15 years old, and I'm a hard worker at
Mm-hmm.
work. And the only time I took vacation is COVID, and it wasn't vacation. I was forced to stay home.
Yeah.
I never took vacation in my whole life. Like, I had some days off, and I did take some like 5 days, but like 5 days vacation, but I never went somewhere. I
Right.
never went out. I would stay home,
Mm-hmm.
sleep or do anything. So I was very scary for me to just, I'm not gonna work 9 to 5 or like 11 to 7 or this and that.
Mm-hmm.
It was really weird, but it kept getting bigger. So it got bigger in June, it got bigger in August, and it settled down. It settled down in August, it settled down in September.
Yeah.
And, it's good, but still, it's much more than what I'm making full time.
Mm-hmm. And
And
next month
yeah,
is May.
next month is May.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah, next month is May, so we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely see. Like one thing that I've
I
been
don't think I don't
noticing.
think it will triple. I don't think it
Yeah.
will triple.
Yeah, one
That
thing
would be
I've
too insane.
and one thing I've noticed for me in the last few years, like I much of my views are in tutorials, and these are very basic tutorials on the game itself, so not building tutorials. So I'm doing something quite different from you. But around the updates, my views tend to triple or quadruple, which also
Yeah.
means my income tripled or quadrupled at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to those months. Like on the business side of things,
Mm-hmm.
it is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it really depends on the update itself as well. A couple of years ago, it wasn't that great. I think that was when we were getting what was the update?
It
Uh,
was the alpha
one
updates, like
was
with the deep sleep. The deep sleep was good, but I think the other one where they added like the underground like negative coordinates or something.
okay. No, I'm thinking 1.19. So this is after.
Yeah.
Um, so in 1.19, that was probably my worst
Okay. Yeah.
worst update in terms of views. Last year was really good. I had my second highest peak ever. The biggest peak was when, of course, was it 2018?
1.16.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was a really good one.
Okay. So
So
when
I'm
are they doing the end?
yeah. When are they?
When are they doing the end? I want that month.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
I know.
too.
So we'll see. I think it's a good update this year too.
Yeah, this
Well,
update is
building
surprisingly
wise,
yeah.
building wise, it's not that crazy.
No.
But survival wise, it
Yeah.
is insane. Redstone wise, it's crazy. I know they're mad a bit with the copper bulb or something.
Yeah.
I still follow a couple things. I'm not up to date at 100%, but I still follow everything like if I'm playing survival.
Hmm.
Okay? Because my builds needs to be survival friendly, so I need to know what's up, you know?
Yeah.
But building wise, when you think about it, there really is just a tough block.
Although
Because when you get into building, it's not about the blocks itself, it's about the color.
yeah.
And the copper, it's fun. We're getting trapdoors. So
Yes.
it's okay. The other blocks are really cool, but they're all the same colors.
Hmm.
We do get a little like extra, but it's not really a new color. The tuff though is a bit yellow and will help with a lot of transition with blocks.
Hmm.
So that's a new block, but that's only one.
Yeah.
We've been getting 3, 4, 5 sets of new colors for like 2 years in a row, and now we're getting just one. For building wise, it's not crazy, but for all the rest, like the dogs, the dog armor, I don't know if are they really doing the enchants, the villager enchants that you need to go to other villages,
Um
other biomes? Are they really doing that?
that's
That I'm
a
not sure.
that's a really good question. They haven't stated whether it will be in the game or not. It's
Okay.
or even
Yeah.
when. It's
Yeah, I
it's
know that
one of
they
those
want to,
things.
but
Yeah.
it's not part of the update. It's part more of like testing. It's still in
Yeah.
testing.
Yeah, it's separate. So,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of people who are not happy with it. They want to have their easy enchantments.
Hmm.
And like you need to go to a swamp to get
Hmm.
mending,
Yeah.
for example. And
Yeah.
that is a little bit difficult because you have to breed the villagers in a swamp to get the swamp villagers, and then you have to make
A village
the
trading hall there over there, and
yeah. And
yeah.
what if it's like 5,000 blocks away?
What
And
if you're playing Bedrock and your villager trading hall is much more complicated to do
yeah,
than Java? You know,
it
stuff
is.
like that. Yeah, I know, I understand that, but at the same time, I really understand that they're working so hard to make this game and every biome interesting
Yeah.
that it's sad sometimes that you can just spawn in a taiga and stay in that taiga the whole damn game for years
Hmm.
and get everything. You know, I understand that they want people to explore more.
Yes.
I don't know. I am like 80% happy with it. I don't think it's perfect. I think it would be better if we had swamp and jungle villages itself in vanilla. So you wouldn't need to make your own breeding system.
Yeah, I
You could
agree.
you could exactly like have or you know, if you're really lucky and you find plains beside a swamp and the village is in the middle, then those would generate normally in vanilla.
Yeah.
without being a swamp. That happens sometimes, but it's very, very rare.
I've seen
But yeah, if we had those village, I think it would be much better idea then.
yeah, and I've seen a desert village right next to a jungle.
Yeah, that can happen too because they're hot biomes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it can happen, but it's so rare. It's so
Yes, it
rare.
is.
And for something that is like fundamental to every like savvy survival player, that you need all these enchants and everyone wants a trading hall, that you have to have 7 different trading hall system now.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. It's not perfect. At least
Yeah.
if vanilla structure, vanilla village would generate would be much easier, you know.
It would, yes.
Yeah. And then you make a system and then the nether to bring them all together. Oh my god, such a lot of work to get like a mega base with all these enchants now. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah.
Going back to 1.21, the one block that I am really interested in is the copper grate.
Yeah, it's a nice block. It's very nice.
And
But it's the same color
it
for
is,
me as a
true.
building person.
But I feel like
But
it'll give variety for windows, for example.
yeah, absolutely.
We got
absolutely,
some texture.
Yeah, and use glass in front to make them different colors too. You could use them. I have some ideas. This year, I didn't want to get into a resource pack and have them beforehand. I really want to build with them for the first time.
Yeah.
Because last year I made the mistake of building a fairy cottage with the pink blocks, but using a resource pack by replacing acacia planks.
Oh.
And everybody asked for that build for 5 months. I was so tired. I'm like, I can't give you that build. I don't have the blocks. The blocks aren't in the game.
Yeah.
You can't convert it. It's just a resource pack, you know. I can't do anything. I can give you the build, but it's acacia wood, you know. It's not cherry wood.
It'll look completely different.
On the picture, it looks like cherry, you know. And even that texture pack had the pink petals. It was the glow lichen, so they could be on a wall. So people would be like crazy. How do you put the pink petals on the wall? How do you do that? You know, like it couldn't. It was glow lichen. It's just a resource pack was changing the texture. That's it, you know. So I don't want to get into that this year. I felt bad because I couldn't give it, and then I felt like I was cheating people because they wanted something they couldn't have.
Yeah.
And I was dependent on the update to produce that build, you know. So I'm like, no. I'm gonna have fun when everything is available for everybody, and you know, feel the excitement with everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited too. But I feel like I think we got too spoiled last year. The builders, we got bamboo and cherry.
Yes, we
2
did.
new wood set. We got spoiled. So
Yes,
this
we
year
did.
it's okay. It's okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens in May. But that's pretty much what happened. The last part of my story is really going full time.
Yeah.
And that was a bit scary. So yeah, everything went crazy on May. I honestly could have left my work right there. That would have been, now that I know the future, it would have worked. But that would be something a bit dumb. If you're an adult with a family and you're finding success through something like content creation, I would really tell to people, wait a couple months, you know, see the trend, how it goes. Does it keep doing that?
Yeah.
If something bad happens, like imagine you get into an accident, your car breaks down.
Yeah.
Can you buy another car? I don't know, maybe like your house catches in fire. You need to move right away. Can you do that? Do you have the income to do it? You know, if in 3 months your Patreon goes back to where it used to be before May, could you do it? You know, all these questions popped into my head. So I waited for June. June, it still went up. It didn't triple, but it still went up. I waited to July. It didn't triple, but it still went up.
Yeah.
And you know, I always put money aside, and I was like, okay, no, honestly, I can live a year without making a penny. Like, we're fine. That's where I took my decision at my birthday in July. And like I said, I'm a real like hardworking person, and I value work.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I told my boss that I wanted to leave, you know.
Right.
And she was like, "Okay, where are you going?" And then I'm like, "Okay, you know what? Let's have a talk. Let's take a minute. Let's do our stuff, and then let's have a real talk." And that's where I announced to my boss that I was pursuing content creation, and it was working really well. And I told her I'm not gonna go now, but I want to, prepare my departure. So
Yeah.
that's where I offered her to make a plan, to leave. But, like any boss, they always want you to stay, So she kind of played on that card a bit, like, oh, we have this to do. Oh, we're opening a store. Oh, I'm busy there or whatever. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm going to give you a couple months, but know that after this project, we need to focus on finding a replacement. I'll do like a guide or whatever to, train the replacement and whatever, and take my time, because that way I'm showing her that she can have total confidence in me, and that gives me time to see if my Patreon can sustain me and my family.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. So August was complete waste of time. I didn't work on anything at my job,
Mm-hmm.
but my Patreon steps kept going strong. So I got that. Then September, all the projects went down at my job. That's where I told her again. And then slowly, okay, the door was open. We started looking for people. She told me, you know what? Take vacation. Take your vacation day and think it over.
Mm-hmm.
Think if you really want to leave. And we did that little deal where I took 2 days off. I had like 2 weeks of vacation. I would take 2 days off a week
Yep.
and see if I could produce more with my content and still being able to work full time.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, didn't really work.
Yeah.
I mean, I got more content out, that's for sure. And it made my Patreon stronger. But mentally, I was not focused on both.
Yeah.
I
True.
was able to produce more, but I wasn't focused at 100% on making content. And when I was at work, I was thinking about the content. I wasn't focused. I was still doing the job, but I wasn't giving my 110%. I was like at 80, 90%.
Mm-hmm.
Same with content. It was a bit harder even because I would take up more projects on content, and it was a lot more to juggle with. And there's not just only that. Like if I want to go full time, taxes, like now I need to be a company and yada yada. I don't know how to do that. So
Yeah.
I had that in the backlog of my head. And I'm like, when am I gonna do that if I need to post every week and produce content, uh, give builds with Patreon and stuff like that. So I did take all these weeks of vacation, but it didn't change my mind. I had to leave.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it got in serious. We found somebody a couple months, and I got the guy. Was one of my friend. I trained him, and I left December 15, 2023. That was my last day at work.
It's very recent.
Very recent, yeah. So I had my brother-in-law here with me. My wife's brother was here, so I took it easy.
Yeah.
December was like the last 2 weeks of December. I didn't produce any content really. Took it easy, and like I said, I never took vacation. COVID was like weird, got me thinking, but didn't change any of my life. I found about Minecraft only.
Mm-hmm.
So it was now that like I felt like it was the time for me to relax a bit, because I had this whole goddamn like working at home and working full time at work at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
while taking care of the family. It was a lot, like
Yeah, it
that's
can
when my
be.
body said, okay, we need to take a break. Now it's the real battle. Can I do this? Can I do content creation full time?
Yeah.
And I was stressed. It was stressful because what if it doesn't work? Can I go back to my job? Can will it work out? Will I be motivated? Will I be shattered? Like I couldn't make it work, all
Mm-hmm.
these questions, they pop in. So, I just like out of like, it was a good spot to take it easy because it's the holidays. So I
Yeah.
did take all of December, and then the first week of January, very relaxed. Then my brother-in-law left, and that's where I needed to produce content. But
Yeah.
I don't have a schedule. How do I like? Okay, so I don't have that stress, so I have to be on time. I have to wake up. I have to drive. There's traffic. have to be there because my boss is gonna be mad at me if I'm late. You know,
Yep.
there's nothing. If you want to sleep, you can sleep. If you want to watch a TV show, you can watch a TV show. It's the first time in my life that I feel that I can experience that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, you know, I think I have so much time, but I don't because
No.
everything can just, it's easy to just, oh, let's open Instagram and now I can watch Reels now. I have all the time in the day to, you know, just look at what everybody does, you know? And it was hard a bit in January to
Mm-hmm.
find a balance of like making content and keep concentrated because the deal was also, you know, uh, so yeah, I was giving some of the money to my wife,
Yeah.
uh, but now since I don't have a job, now we need a real family routine where I'm very present. So when they get home from daycare and work, I'm not playing Minecraft. I'm not creating content. I'm with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing that, you know. So it's a lot of adaptation. I went through a big adaptation in January, and then Shovel Shovel happened. Grace said, "Do you want to do a collab video?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to do that." You know,
Yeah.
I cannot say no. This guy is the perfect guy to teach me everything about YouTube and video creation.
Mm-hmm.
So I get into another kind of learning spree of learning Premiere Pro, learning how to script,
Right.
doing a thumbnail. It looks so easy. It's the most hardest and frustrating part of a video. Thumbnail.
It can be,
God damn
yes.
it! I hate thumbnails. Takes so much time because I have a lot of friends in content creation, so I pass my thumbnail through them. And I'm not that shit. That's not good. Oh no, this is too much. Not visible. We don't understand what's the link between the title and the video with that thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
It's so frustrating. I made thumbnail for like 5 days. I was going crazy. It looks so easy, but it's very hard. So you know, I learned all these things, and then Shovel had a timeline to respect,
Mm-hmm.
and I followed him. So the building part of building with Shovel was super easy, super fun.
Yeah.
Then I had to learn replay mod, footage of 5 hours with crashes, and I went through everything, every bad part of making a YouTube video in Minecraft. I went through everything with Shovel. It was
Mm-hmm.
exhausting, frustrating, but it was fun. It was really fun to see at the end a video that was working. Looking back at it, I should have worked more on the beginning of the video.
Yeah. The hook.
But it was my first video. The hook and
Yeah.
the first 30 seconds, the presentation of what's, you know, the script was good. It's just more the visuals and the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
The main structure of like the first 30 seconds and the first build that I'm showing
Yeah.
was the lacking part of my video. The rest was pretty good. Apparently, other YouTubers or friends they watched it and it was like for first video, it's very good. It's really your beginning, and it's fine because that's the first part I worked on. You know.
Yeah.
But it's something I don't think I want to pursue too much. Not now though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say I'm not making a video like this anymore. I don't want to say that, but time-wise, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to script, get a story, get an idea, get a strategy. It's a lot of work, and I tip my hat to Shovel for doing that. The thing though is Shovel stopped focusing on Instagram at all.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a family. I want to keep my family
Yeah.
stable, like family routine alive and strong. You know,
Yeah.
when they're home, I'm not creating content. I'm creating content after 8. You know, when
Right.
they're going to bed, I can work a bit on content, and then I stop at 9:30, 10 o'clock. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I want to keep that balance, and I want to keep doing building Patreons, and slowly get into like making tutorials on YouTube. Those are much less time consuming. I still need to learn how to do them. I did
Right.
one, and I'm working on my second one. When I have time, I work on it. You know, slowly working on thumbnails. You know, getting familiarized with YouTube, and then Mr. Matt. So you know him. We didn't really talk about my experience with Mr. Matt. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't really a part of my whole journey. Mr. Matt is something I learned through Lena, your sister.
Yeah.
I found out about Mr. Matt on her Discord, and then one day he said that he wanted to learn where did it, and he was on the bakery server on the
Mm-hmm.
public side. And I told him, oh, I'm gonna show you because I found this building was interesting. It was very like medieval fantasy, but a little different than anybody else. And I'm like, I want to collab with this guy, you know. Then
Mm-hmm.
once we collab, it clicked right away. He became my friend like that,
Yeah.
and I made him join the bakery. He became an admin, and then he's a staple part of the bakery server now. Like he's a big chunk,
Yeah.
big member of the bakery server now. But yeah, that's just a side story. But what were we taking? I got a bit sidetracked.
We were talking about it was oh yeah, you were talking about Shovel and YouTube.
Yeah, the shovel video. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so I'm not saying like I'm not gonna do more like that, but
Yeah.
for now, I wanna. It was a good learning experience, very great. I want to focus on making video. Yeah, Matt told me, why not just do Twitch? You know,
Mm-hmm.
do Twitch, and that's gonna help you. And then thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that's true. I get a schedule. That's perfect.
Yep.
It's dumb, but I've been having a schedule my whole life. So, people hate having scheduled, but this was the perfect part for me to start getting the real content creation adaptation in. A little baby step. I'm gonna take my schedule, so I'm in control of my schedule. If I don't stream one day, that's on me. Nobody's gonna fire me.
Yeah.
But at least I have expectation on myself, and some people has an expectation. So just that is enough for me to establish a routine. And since I started stream Twitch, it helped me being
Mm-hmm.
more productive. Not because I wasn't productive, I'm still learning a lot of things. I'm not there sitting all day, but like my head is everywhere because I have so much time. It's hard to get a direction and get something done today when you can be learning anything that you're supposed to learn. It's not organized.
Yeah.
I keep learning, I keep putting stuff in my brain too much because now I have all the time in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying building stuff. I'm going deeper in building because now I have all the time in the world. It's not necessarily creating content anymore. I'm into a phase where I'm trying things, and the Twitch streaming is just perfect now.
Yeah.
Because now I can stream, and I'm building a project, so I'm not creating a lot of content. But when that streaming project I finish it, it's gonna be a big, massive part of content creation. I'm gonna be able to show all these builds. It's gonna be a map, a real playable map.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm also building a new audience on Twitch and bringing some people from left and right that I have on Twitter, on Pinterest, on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling them like, oh yeah, hey, I'm on Twitch, and these guys are coming. Hey, I didn't know you were streaming, and I'm learning other streamers. I'm finding out about a whole other side of content creator that I
Yeah.
didn't know. I know everybody on Instagram. I know a good chunk on TikTok. Twitter, Twitter is a bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think Twitter is like the hub of like everybody. All the community on YouTube, all the community on Twitch, all the community on Instagram, like everybody. So it's hard to know everybody on Twitter, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
But I feel like Twitch is another part of it. It's like a second Instagram, but now it's Twitch. There's another whole family of content creation over there. So it's fun. And
It
I'm
is.
having a lot of fun. And your sister also is helping me with that.
Mm-hmm.
I have patrons that is offering help. And that's very relieving to get some support from patrons. They want to just help me figure out like how streamer bots or stuff Twitch is working and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
for now, it's really going good. And I finally like since my full time income in December. December was stable. January was the same. February it went a bit down.
Mm-hmm.
And now since I started Twitch, I finally broke down the little cage you
Mm-hmm.
know, of it went up. It went a good up. So I
Yes.
see a big difference now of being having a bit more stability. Because now I'm stable with family, stable on working, stable on streaming. I have a plan. I'm more focused,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I'm getting there slowly. So it's only been 3 months. I made 2 YouTube videos, a good chunk of builds, learned streaming, learned Adobe Premiere Pro, studied the art of making a YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
So I still think it's a success. It's a success, and I broke down my cage of like I had a bar, a level of like income I couldn't break since September
Mm-hmm.
2023, and I broke it down in March. So I
Yeah.
think it's good. It's going well. The update is coming on Minecraft. I think there's good stuff coming in. I want to take it more seriously and go into more bigger projects,
Yeah.
And I feel like I established myself on Instagram. People know I don't want to brag it, but like people know like GraySun is the fantasy builder. Like GraySun, they know me now. I made a name for myself. I'm super happy. I feel super lucky to have all
Mm-hmm.
these people like around me, and there are people that has been following me for like 3 years, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they pop up, and I recognize them because they commented on my stuff like 2 years ago. I still recognize them,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to see them. That it's crazy. I don't know this person, but they're still like looking at stuff that I do, and I still have an impact on them. So it's important for me to give that back.
It is. Yeah.
They're a supporter. They were there when I laid my first stones. They're very important for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very special experience, and I'm very grateful for it. So that's
Yeah.
the whole story of how everything happened. That's the current state.
And it's
Did you? Yeah, go ahead.
it's all happened very quickly for you.
Very quickly, very quickly. I think I don't know. Maybe in life you keep doing things right.
Yeah.
For a while, there's problems. You get issues. You just gotta keep working on those issues. Try to
Mm-hmm.
Try to work on getting a better version of yourself. When there's stuff that you gotta do, you just gotta do them for real. Fix the things, do what's right.
Right.
Because now it probably looks easy. It wasn't that easy, but I mean, it looks like it was a pretty cool adventure for me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always pink and lovely. The years before that, before my wife, before I found my wife,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like really nice. I went through a lot of hardship, but I kept focusing on what I had to do, what's right.
Right.
And I worked hard to get it. And after a couple years of like stagnation, I mean, an opportunity came in, Minecraft, and it was just funny. And because I really loved it and I kept working hard, but I also didn't feel like tired because I loved it so much.
Right.
It becomes something. Maybe I got rewarded by doing the things right for so long without having success in anything. Maybe it's something. I believe in universes and stuff. Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
energy I kept putting in there.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that someday things would go right. That's what I kept telling myself. Well, when there was no opportunity, I was just stuck there if I didn't go back to school or I didn't get a real good opportunity at work. Nothing would change in my life. And
Yeah.
then this happened all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you know, because of COVID and
Yeah.
my kids.
Yeah. I
And without
remember.
even without the knowledge of like, oh, I'm gonna open a Patreon. No, I just followed some friends because I was
Yep.
having fun. It just happened. It really
Yeah.
just happened. But when it happened, I was ready for it. When Patreon happened, I was ready to study Patreon. I
Mm-hmm.
was when I had people that suggested me drop Bedrock, learn Java. I was ready for it. I took my computer, I learned Java.
Yeah.
I took little leap of faith every time, and I did it. and I was able to overcome all these
Hmm.
little obstacles
And it's
slowly
all
but surely, you know.
it's all paid off.
And it all paid off. Yeah, absolutely. And I did it. The only thing I think is why everything worked out is because I kept enjoying what I was doing. I was just building stuff that I wanted to build.
Yeah,
And I was putting it there and following people what they wanted to see from me. And it was just the right sauce, you know?
yeah.
Uh,
I
but
think
uh, yeah.
yeah, I think for a lot of content creators, they're getting into the mindset that this is business and they're not
No,
having fun anymore and they go
no.
through burnout. And that
Hmm.
is the big danger for a lot of content creators. And
Hmm.
I've mentioned this before. I went through burnout for about 2 years,
Ooh,
and it ended last year. Right now,
nice.
I feel very good about the direction I'm going now. I think I could be a lot farther along than I am now if I hadn't gone through burnout. And the one of the biggest reasons for the burnout was I was trying to build things that were too big, and it got monotonous. It was
Okay.
boring, and I just wasn't having fun doing it anymore. And
Yeah.
now I've decided I'm just going to build what I like to build, but I did a poll on my channel and I was doing
Hmm.
three different things. I was doing a basic survival let's play in
Hmm.
which I am putting in story and lore all over. It's a building based series. The second one is hardcore, where I'm just experimenting with building styles. And the third is using the create mod to build a modern city. But I found that the learning curve was very steep with that. So I'm taking a break from that.
Oh, okay.
And I conduct
Create mod, right?
yeah, I conducted a poll. I asked people, what do you want to see?
Hmm.
And overwhelmingly, more than 2/3 said focus on the survival let's play. And so that's what I'm
Really?
doing. Yeah, they want the basic Minecraft. And I thought that was interesting because hardcore is really popular right now. But
Yeah,
I'm finding that it's really popular on Twitch more so than YouTube. Although a lot of
maybe.
people are doing YouTube hardcore and they're very successful with it. But I I kind of think I wasn't having much of a direction with my
But
hardcore series.
okay.
But I have a very large picture of what I want to do with my let's play. So
Oh, that's interesting.
you got a big plan. It's and you know exactly what you're doing, and it shows with how you're making the videos. And
Yeah.
it definitely helps to have that plan and that goal of what you want to
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you look like you're
Also,
just aimless.
absolutely, exactly. Also, that's the thing I learned a bit is, okay, so yeah, I don't agree with Minecraft is just a business. That is no for me. It's
Yeah,
not just a
absolutely
business.
not.
Um, the thing is, as a content creator, you are the motor of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you're a person, you have emotions, you have
Yeah.
phases. Sometimes you don't feel well. Sometimes you get sick. Some things happen. You know, yeah, you have kids or you have like your family. Some stuff happen. You're
Mm-hmm.
not always at 100% able to create and produce entertainment or educational content or whatever. You are the motor. You're the main thing. So if you're not feeling well, if you are not happy, you won't be able to keep it up.
Yeah.
I think that is not something I really learned. I learned it. I saw it with Minecraft. I saw a couple people that I was there in the beginning. They're not there anymore. So I saw
Mm-hmm.
it. I kind of felt a bit like that in January, but you know, I just needed a break. I think I
Yes.
just needed a break after all this. It lasted like a week, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I learned this in real life, you know. If you're not happy, you can't work.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. You can't build anything. You can't have a relationship. you can't have projects, you can't perform at work, you don't feel well, you don't get friends, you don't go out. So I think that's the main thing as a content creator. You need to be able to create while maintaining all these things. It's like a balance, you know.
Yes, it
It
is.
needs to be balanced. You need some time for you. You need some time for your relationships. You need some time to create. You need some focus time. You need some learning time. Uh, and hell, if you want to play something else than Minecraft, just do it, you know?
Hmm.
Like before this call, I was playing Catan. That is
Yeah.
something we do. Me, Mr. Matt Shovel, we play Catan a couple nights per week.
Yeah.
Every week, like we play, not every single day, but like at least 3 times in the week, we're gonna be playing 2, 3 games of Catan
Yeah.
in the night. That is their little, you know, reward for after a work day. You know, sometimes we get other bakers in, but mostly it's me, Matt, and Shovel, and you know,
Hmm.
it's fun. You know, it's a little something. That's my, you know, like in virtual friend relationship. In real life, I don't really have friends that I keep relationship anymore. I
Hmm.
know people, but I mean, I don't see them or anywhere. Like really, my friends are content creators,
Yeah.
bakers, or other platforms that even if they're not bakers. And then my family. That's like the main people in my life.
Yeah.
But you need that balance because if you don't you don't work, nothing's gonna work.
Right.
You know, mentally and physically,
Yeah.
especially mentally.
And I do play another game as well. I play No Man's Sky, which is
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I
yeah.
remember seeing stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have another channel where I'm making long play style videos where I'm just playing and I hardly edit anything. It's pretty much low effort content,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
that channel is one that I started just so that I could just enjoy the game and
Okay.
not worry about any planning or anything and just document my experience playing space games.
Yeah.
But it's mainly
Yeah.
just No Man's Sky, and I'm having fun. I've made more than 300 videos on it, and
Ooh.
it's just been it's my hobby, I guess you
That's
could
good.
say.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
plus that channel's monetized, so I'm getting a little extra right there.
There you go. That's it. Don't think about it as a
Yep.
business. I didn't
Yeah.
think as a business. It was an accident.
Yeah.
You just heard the story. It
Yeah.
was unplanned,
It
but I was ready. That's the thing. You gotta keep in mind. I was ready for it. You
and
know,
you
all
know
these times
that
in my life, I was waiting for an opportunity, and the door was getting open. I opened the door and I took it. You know,
yeah,
but I didn't plan anything.
that is very common. Others have said that they never planned anything going into this and it just happened.
Hmm.
And
That's how it is.
sometimes they said it's scary. They don't know what's going to
It is.
happen.
It is scary because you don't know.
Yeah.
In life, that's what fear is. It's the fear of not knowing what's gonna happen. It's the fear of not having control. You have no control.
You
You
don't.
gotta grasp it. You gotta grasp it and you know, take the bulls by his horns and, you know, ride it. You know,
Yeah.
take it and try. You fall, you fall.
Yeah.
Just stand up. You know, do something else. Leave the stadium for a couple days. Come back later. You know,
Yeah.
it's it's really not. It looks complex. It's not that complex.
Hmm.
You need to have fun. Stay true to yourself. Take care of yourself. Go slowly. I went fast for me, but hell,
Yeah.
I think I had something in me. I definitely had a creative talent for something, you know.
Hmm.
But not only that, you know, I was working in sales, so I have knowledge about marketing.
Yeah.
You know, Patreon is very marketing helps you a lot with Patreon,
It does. Yeah.
and you know, studying stuff, working hard. You know, is a big value that I have. So I do work hard a lot. I put
Hmm.
in a lot of hours to learn and make sure I'm doing the things right. Sometimes I fail, but you know, I'm not scared to try things. After all this I'm not scared of like trying some new stuff,
Yeah.
posting it, or seeing if it flops. If it flops, it flops. Now I know it's not working.
Hmm.
I go back to regular stuff and then try something else. Oh, then this time it worked. It's all about that. And I think the last part you wanted to talk is if I had what advice or
Yeah.
anything or
Yeah, and actually, one just before that, what you were just saying is very good advice for anyone who wants to try content creation. You will fail.
yeah,
There will be
totally.
failures, but just keep going because those failures will help you learn what you did wrong or what you need to
Yeah.
improve. So
Hmm.
don't worry about a video or an Instagram post
No.
or even on Twitch. Like a lot of people will stream for weeks or months and have very
Hmm.
little audience. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of luck
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
something happens. But just keep at it.
Hmm.
But
For my part, maybe we could talk quickly about it because
yep.
it's going pretty okay. It's doing well for me on Twitch right now. But the
Hmm.
thing is, what I notice right away on Twitch is, where do you find people? You can't find anyone. You need
It's
their name. Where do
yeah.
you where did you get this name from? You got his name from YouTube.
Hmm.
Got his name from Instagram. You got his name through a friend maybe.
Yeah.
But you didn't get it from Twitch.
I find
So,
I find that at least in my experience and the experience of others that I know, it's all about networking on Twitch.
mhm.
Be in the chats of others, raid people.
Yeah.
And
That for sure helped for sure. Yeah.
yeah, but I've also found some people just on the main page, like just recommended people. But I find that
Yeah.
that's not usually the biggest unless you see something that just catches your eye. But it's really hard to do that on Twitch.
Yeah, you need to filter and mess around and look. But what I found too is, I have an audience on Instagram. People are
Hmm.
finding me because I say on Instagram that I'm streaming. I'm part of the bakery Discord, so I tell people on the Discord, "Hey, I'm streaming." Some
Yeah.
people come. My audience is getting from other places, so I'm
Hmm.
bringing other audience. Of course, it's not enough. It's not a lot. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I have 100,000 followers on Instagram, but when I make a story, that's not 109,000 that sees the story.
Right.
There's probably like a good story will reach 10 to 15,000
Hmm.
of those 100,000. And then when there's a links that get people off Instagram,
Yeah.
Instagram doesn't like that. Instagram doesn't like.
Neither does YouTube.
Neither does YouTube, neither does Twitter.
Yeah.
So when I post on Twitter, minimum I get 300 likes on anything I post. But if I'm posting that I'm streaming on Twitch
Hmm.
and I have a Twitch link, I have 20, 40 likes.
Yeah.
But still I reached 1,000 people.
Hmm.
So there's extra little bits. That's 1,000 people that saw that I'm streaming today on Twitch. Maybe they don't have time, so maybe I get 10 people that clicks from that.
Hmm.
That's zero from Twitter, from Twitch, zero. So
Yeah.
they saw me through Twitter. On Instagram, I reached 3,000, 4,000 people. 40, 50 clicked on it. So I'm getting my audience
Hmm.
for my already existing audience.
Yeah.
So if you do well, let's say on Instagram one day, or you do well on YouTube or TikTok, then it's easier when you go to another platform. It needs to make sense. Like if you're doing TikTok Reels and you want people from TikTok to go on Instagram to do Reels, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
That's the same experience. What you're posting on Instagram is the same thing you're posting on Twitter and on TikTok, I mean. you
Hmm.
know. But if you're wanting to bring your Instagram audience to live streaming on Twitch, that's a good way to do it because
Hmm.
it's another experience for your fan or whatever.
Yeah.
You gotta think like people are not monkeys. They're like you. They have emotion.
Yeah.
What if I told you, JD, hey, You follow me on Instagram, JD? Follow me on TikTok. I post the same pictures and the same reels that you saw on Instagram today. Why would you follow me on TikTok too? You know?
Yeah.
But if I tell you, hey, JD, I'm streaming on Twitch, you should pass by. And you're like, hey, I want to see how he does his picture on Instagram. I want to see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's more interesting. That's like little part of like, psychology, marketing.
Yeah.
That I would definitely tell any people who's really serious about making content creation to try and have an interest into those little things. This is all things you can learn by yourself. You don't need to go to school.
Yeah.
You can just go and try to find a couple YouTubers that talks about stuff like that. Get friends with other content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Don't push things, don't. I know a lot of small content creator, they try to go really fast and, they try to DM like big content creators right away and then try to force things, You get friends by making friends, by living the same experience,
Yep.
Get friends into your own like level of like follower and knowledge, and grow things together. That's what the bakery is. We didn't have all 100,000 followers on Instagram. We didn't have that. We barely had 10,000, 5,000. We were at the same level. We grew together.
Mm-hmm.
We don't fight. We're just a big family of content creation. We having fun, and we always share our knowledge. That's another source that helped me a lot. That yes, it did went fast, but I had friends, I had teachers, I had a lot of people that I could trust and help me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had like just trying to learn by myself things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of like advice that I would like to say to small content creators that want to do it, is go slowly, make sure you're having fun, make sure you enjoy, put yourself little goals, and when you hit an obstacle, let's say you can't make YouTube videos because you don't have a computer, well, that's fine, try to do shorts, on a phone. It's easier, but still, you're still learning the mechanics behind making a video, editing. So I had to learn Premiere Pro, but it's a totally different thing than CapCut on a phone. But it's the same thing. Like you're still cutting, you're still like moving clips around, you're still getting music. So I did learn a couple parts, couple basics that helped me transition to Premiere Pro. It's vast, it's so much bigger, but all the basics, it's the same. Do things that you can and take baby steps towards optimizing whatever you're doing, as long as you feel comfortable taking that little jump of like learning something. If you're not comfortable, you're scared of posting, you're scared of what people think, if somebody says bad things to you on social media and you react bad, I wouldn't suggest doing content creation. I would suggest you work on yourself as a human being first.
Yes.
Get some maturity. It's not an easy thing. It looks cool. It's crazy. This guy is making money playing Minecraft. It's everything looks cool, but it's not that easy. There's a lot going around it, and you gotta have a whole lot of maturity and strong psychological thinking and respect when going into like that, because you're kind of exposing yourself to the internet, and it's pretty it can get pretty wild pretty fast. You cannot lose your face.
Yep.
You gotta go slow, and if you need to vent, you never do it publicly. Get some friends and vent to yourself. Vent to your friends in a private Discord or on the phone or wherever you talk with your friends. And stuff like that. Really, mainly just have fun as much as you can, because
absolutely.
That's why people follow you. They see you're having fun, and it shows in your content too. That if it's a passion, your content is good. If it's content because I need to post every single day because algorithm this and that, nah, it's not gonna work.
That's a chore.
Exactly. That's a chore, and that's not gonna work. If you're able to have fun and post every single day, hell, do it. It's pretty hard. I did it for like 8 months in a row. It's pretty hard.
Yep.
I had to slow down, and now I have all the time. I don't have all the time in the world. I mean, but I have a lot more time, and I'm not posting every day. I don't need to post every day. I
Hmm.
need to post when I have good content. That's when I
Yes.
need to post.
Yes.
That's
That's
the only time you
definitely
need to post.
definitely very good advice there.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
yeah, you don't need the perfect content, but you need the polished content, the
Yeah.
done content. You did a couple houses, whatever your content is it's done. The piece of content is finished. If you're
Hmm.
doing pictures, you have terrain, interior, a build, and maybe an end screen, a little extra. It's done. Now it's a good content. You can show it. You can inspire everybody with all this aspect of your content. If you're
Yeah.
making a YouTube video, you have an intro, a mid, your thumbnail, good music, good script. It's done. So that's the kind of things
Yeah.
that people needs to know before taking a jump and trying. Oh, this guy made it. I can do it. It's not always like that.
No.
Uh,
It's you have to work hard at it.
Absolutely, but by step, by
Yeah.
step,
Yeah.
by step. It's always by step. What's the next step? That's what my wife told me yesterday. What's the next step? I'm like, hey, I'm doing Twitch now. That's the step.
Yeah.
I want to get Twitch. Get a routine and see if I can handle like three streams a week. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. It takes a lot of my time. And then when I'm done streaming, I need to go get the kids, and I'm done with content until 8 in the night.
Hmm.
And I won't hide that the streaming is pretty exhausting.
It
Uh, I
is.
don't I don't feel like rushing through content at 8 o'clock. So I work a little, and then Shovel is like, "Hey, do you want to play Catan?" And I'm half playing Catan, half building.
Hmm.
These are my days.
Yeah.
Getting ready for stream, learning and stuff, and yeah. But it's been a month only, so I won't pick up. I think maybe summer. I will see if it's something I want to really pursue at 3 days, or make it really like a side thing with maybe like 2 days a week,
Yeah.
or really take it seriously and work my way through. I don't really know what's the step in Twitch. I think the most subscriber you get, the better it is.
Yeah.
But really, the main thing is creating content while streaming. That's my focus. That's my plan.
Yeah. It's every platform is so different, and
Hmm.
it's not easy for some of them. For myself, Twitch and streaming is the most tiring thing for me. It's constantly having to think about what to say because you have an
Yeah.
audience. With recording
Hmm.
videos, I can pause quite a
Yeah.
lot,
Hmm.
and my videos are more scripted as well. So
Yeah.
I have I know what I'm going to do, but with streaming, sometimes I get tired and I just want to stop.
Yeah. I know, but you can't right now. You
Yep.
just gotta prepare your exit.
Yep.
Even if you're down, you're crushed. Like today, I was crushed. I streamed yesterday, and I went on a little mini vacation. We weren't at home, so hotel, outside, a lot of walking, aquarium park, and kids and whatever. So I
Yeah.
was already tired yesterday. I streamed yesterday. I streamed this morning, and after eating, I was getting tired. So after three
Hmm.
hours and a half, I stopped. But I was able to stream for 5 hours straight, past
Hmm.
2 weeks. But today,
Yep.
3 hours and a half, and I was done. I was over.
Right.
So yeah, it is exhausting. Every platform is different. YouTube, it's yeah, you can pause and everything, but you need to keep focus, and there's a lot of planification, I feel, with YouTube. You need to
Yeah.
plan your stuff correctly. Your videos are great. You're like the encyclopedia of Minecraft. You want to
My
know something about Minecraft, you just look for. You don't even need to go on YouTube and write it. You go on JD and you have the answer somewhere. You have
my
a video
goal
about it.
my goal
Huh?
my goal is to have a tutorial on every single aspect of the game.
It's insane. It's
And
insane.
that I'm nowhere near even a quarter.
Yeah, it's
It's
a big game. It's a
it's
big game.
So I decided to increase my tutorials to twice a week instead of once a week, and
Nice.
that's a recent decision. And usually my tutorials do not perform very well in the first couple of weeks, unless
No.
it's really something trending.
Yeah.
But
Once you get
after,
into search,
yes, then
yeah.
exponential growth.
Yeah.
And when you have more of them getting that exponential growth at once, it's even better.
hmm Yeah, because then they see how to craft granite or something, you know.
And
Then
you
they get
can.
see how to craft. Yeah, you can craft granite and diorite,
Yep.
anthracite too.
Yep.
Can you craft quartz?
No.
No, you can't craft quartz. No, that would be too insane. That's true. That's a dumb question.
Yeah, but at
Um,
least you can get quartz blocks
yeah,
from a mason.
yeah, you can, you can.
Yeah.
Also, there's gravel and coarse dirt. They're very special blocks. You know, I
Yep.
think you can,
I've done
you
gravel,
can.
have not done coarse dirt yet.
Yeah, that's. I think there's an infinite way to get dirt too without mining dirt
Yeah,
with gravel or yeah. There's so much stuff in that game. It's
it
insane.
is.
It's insane. You can
It,
have tutorials for a lot of things, and you have a lot of these little tutorials. Sometimes they're more like very niche. You do have ones that are very more important, like enchanting ones and
yeah.
stuff like that. Probably sure those ones are very popular.
Yeah, the enchantment
Uh,
ones and the potion ones are
yeah,
the potion ones especially are my best performing videos.
yeah. This is what mainly people are looking for
Yeah.
most of the time. Then you get some people looking for how to do this, and you're probably the only one that made a tutorial on that. So that's it, you know?
Back
Then
when I back when I started doing videos like this, I don't know how many people were making this type of tutorial, but it wasn't many. But lately I've been seeing more people do it.
really.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Matt, he does tutorial like build tutorial, and he told me like do build tutorials, and I was like
Mhm.
I wanted to do more like a map of I didn't know what I wanted,
Yeah.
I don't know YouTube,
Mhm.
so I had this experience with the shovel, and I saw how much work it is to make a YouTube video, and that's when I was like, oh, maybe I should listen to Matt, maybe it's more realistic for me. I
Mhm.
don't want to invest all my time and drop everything else. I love
Yeah.
building. I love Patreon. And now I'm finding some love for Twitch. Like I
Yeah.
can't wait to stream tomorrow.
Mhm.
I have a project and I feel like it's nice because now I have episodes. I'm building a mushroom village then,
Mhm.
it's getting bigger and bigger every stream. I'm building something. So I'm building builds like I love, but now it's towards a project. It's not a one-time deal anymore, like
Yeah.
Instagram, where I'm building a horse stable, a fantasy horse stable. When I'm done, I'm done. Now what's the next build? The next build is going to be like a potion shop. It's a
Yeah.
one-time deal.
It
Now it's
is.
going to be a map, and then that's something good for Patreon too.
Mhm.
Then now it's a map. They can have a playable map. But I gotta make it right. I gotta do an interior, not every build, very
Mhm.
decor. It needs to be survival friendly, and that's part of like marketing, the marketing knowledge
Yeah.
of marketing your product. So maybe the last thing we can talk is how to make money with Minecraft. Maybe
Sure.
I know we said Minecraft's not a business. It is not a business, but it's so popular and it's such in high demand.
Mhm.
And it's so well driven by content creator creation. And now we're in an era where internet makes everything accessible,
Yeah.
that you can make money. But first of all, it's a freaking good game, and it resonates with a lot of people. Like more like smart guys that likes redstone, or
Mhm.
maybe just easygoing people that loves to do survival or try dumb stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
How to do the biggest airship or mine the most dirt or whatever. People that likes to do stuff like that. There's so many ways to play this game.
There is.
So you have people that makes money on YouTube for sure, ad revenue and things. But there's not only that. There's YouTube membership. You know,
Yeah.
you can have 2,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube, but if 10 of them pay you $5 a month, that's $50 a month. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yep.
that's money that you can make. And it's not YouTube who pays you, it's your subscribers. But then you're making videos, and then, oh, you got a good amount of view, and then you get 200 videos with ad revenue on YouTube, you know? And then maybe you get some little deals, sponsorship deals. That I didn't experience a lot.
Yeah.
That's more for bigger content creator, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some deals through companies. They ask you to do some stuff, talk about their game or talk about this, and
Yeah.
you mention their game, and they give you some money. You know, it's a
Mm-hmm.
little commission. If you're a good builder, you can do build commission. You can do build commission for other YouTube content creators.
Yeah.
You know, or even some big short creator that wants some good builders. There's definitely Patreon. There's not only Patreon. There's Ko-fi.
Mm-hmm.
You can open a Ko-fi. It's kind of like the same thing. Patreon. You can
Yeah.
give access to builds. You can give access to Redstone. Hell, if you're into Minecraft modding, there's Modrant, CurseForge, other commissions for that big YouTuber who needs a custom mod. You can also sell mods. You don't sell mods, but you can offer your mod through Patreon, like
Yeah.
Arcaniacs. Arcaniacs is a big guy that makes really good building tools. He's making a living making those mods, you know, and Replay Mod, you know, Replay Mod is a mod. It's the most known mod in Minecraft. They make it work with Patreon and other stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's many ways to make money with this game because everybody plays it. That's why you
Yep.
can make money. So it is not a business. Minecraft is not a business. It's a game. But because there's half of the world playing in it, there's ways to make money. That's
Yes.
why you can make money with it. Then after, you can make money on YouTube with any game, not just Minecraft. So you can't
Yeah.
call, let's say, GTA a business. No, GTA is a game. But you can make money with GTA by being a GTA YouTuber. You know?
Yes.
Or, you know, there's YouTuber about Clash of Clans. Is Clash of Clans a business? No, YouTube's the business.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Minecraft's not the business. Making videos about Minecraft on YouTube is the business, or Patreon is the business, or Twitch is the business because you're selling yourself, you know.
Yes,
So
it
that's
is.
the final point I wanted to bring,
Yeah.
because I get that question a lot too, you know.
Yeah.
You see Minecraft as a business or whatever? Because if you see Minecraft as a business, you won't go far in
Yeah.
content creation. Not at all.
Minecraft is
Yeah.
kind of one thing that I've heard, especially creative builders say, Minecraft is like the canvas,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
you can create anything you like in it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you are making things like yourself, and you can have them on Patreon, there. Well, yeah, you said that's the business, so.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're an artist selling art.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel. That's why when I started playing Minecraft, I felt relief because I finally found my vehicle of expression.
Yeah.
It was hidden in me, you know. I used to be a little gamer. Like I used to be a gamer. I used to play on Xbox. It's been a long time. So now I could finally play a game, but being creative. And I feel so dumb for not playing that game before, because it was the perfect game for me, you know. I always liked, like I was, I used to work forklifts. I was making pyramids with pallets of box of meat, you know. I was always trying to have fun,
Yeah.
making things look nice, you know. So you know, I used to work in clothing, and I had good customer because they liked the way I would clothe them, you know, bring them this kind of jeans with this kind of like Blazor or whatever, people that I was working with, they always said, "Oh man, you're such a good guy, such a good designer." You know, my customer base was people who like to get dressed well. You know, then I was working in furniture, and then again I had designers. They didn't want to get served by anybody else in the store but me because I had them. I would bring them the best ideas, the best solutions for their design blockage obstacles, because that's what design is about. You know, you cannot have the perfect piece of furniture, you know, but you need to work around it, and I always had the right solutions for them, you know. So I have this creative flair in me already, and Minecraft is the vehicle. So you know, I make art, I make cool builds, and I follow certain steps of etiquettes of I have an audience, I do what they want while I keep enjoying what I want, so it's a compromise. Then the selling and marketing aspect for my Patreon is what makes things works for me.
Yeah.
But let's take a little quick look at Shovel. Even though Shovel started with Patreon is just a little sideline for him now. He loves making YouTube videos, and he's really good at it. But he works twice or three times as hard as me. Like he works 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, every day. And then he's gonna leave for vacation for like a week, come back, work on another video for 2 months straight, 10 hours a day, if not 12. Like he works very hard, but he loves it. That's why it works. He loves it. He loves editing videos. He loves building so much, like massive stuff. That's what works for him. What works for me is different, you know?
Yeah.
And what would work for you is different too, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the thing. That's why Minecraft is not a business. It's a game. The way to make money with it is the business. You just gotta be a little smart and be willing to learn, you know, because these are not things that you know, but you can find out everything about it.
Yeah.
Definitely on YouTube. Everything is on YouTube right now.
It is.
Everything.
So will this.
Everything on YouTube. Yeah. Even granite, how to craft granite, JayDeeMC, YouTube. There you go. So yeah. Well, I'm kind of off of things to talk about, so I don't know if you wanted to go around something else.
There was one last thing I just wanted to say, and this is more to the listeners. And I like to do this every time, is I want the listeners to give some questions in the comments. And I will let you know about them, and perhaps you can come by and answer them. But also, like, I love to have feedback from the listeners. So all of you listening, who would you like to see on this podcast? Because I'm very open to some suggestions. And I have a lot of ideas myself, but I want some ideas from you as well. Amazing. And that's about it. All right.
Comment down below.
Yes, please comment, because we love to interact with all of you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, GraySun, it was really great having you as a guest.
Yeah, it was fun.
Really enjoyed it. I didn't know
I could talk that much.
Well, you've made a record. This is going to be an almost 2-hour-long podcast.
Jesus,
so there we go.
I talked 2 hours. That's insane. All right, JD. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. And so everyone listening, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.